Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna give this a couple minutes to catch up. Happy Friday. Hello. Welcome to live Q&A. I do this every Friday for you guys just to ask any questions and hang out with me, tell you what's going on in my life. Let me move this over so I can see the chats. If you are tuning in, please let me know where you are tuning in from. I have all of these videos posted at the end of the live on my IG and then also on YouTube. So if you guys are not subscribed to my YouTube yet, please do so because there are free coaching videos there that I don't post on Instagram. And if you are on my YouTube and you haven't followed me on Instagram, I highly suggest following me on Instagram because it shares more about my personal life and journey and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, please let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm so excited to be here. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chats on either, and I will be here for the next hour or so. I don't know if you guys have been tuning into the energy lately, but the full moon that happened on Monday has really thrown everybody for a loop, and it's been interesting to just kind of hear everyone's feedback about what's going on for them. Hello, Joe. Yeah, so the full moon has been really weird. It was a full moon eclipse at like 3:30 Central Time in Gemini. So likely, and like before the full moon, a lot of people were reporting a lot of just like headiness and like head fogginess and pressure, which definitely correlates to how I've been feeling this week, just like a lot of anxiety and even deeper than anxiety, I've just been feeling a lot of sensations in my body, which I shared kind of on my Instagram stories yesterday. But yesterday was like the height of all the emotions that I was feeling. Like I spent like 2 hours in the park by myself by the lake, which usually helps to ground me. Took like a nap on the ground, even though it was like 50 degrees outside, but much needed. But even still with that grounding, I felt so like in my head, and like all my patterns were coming up, and just like a lot of like patterns of unworthiness and not enoughness were all over the place yesterday. So I just tried to just notice them and not do anything about them, just notice that they were there and allowed them to be a part of my reality, which is highly recommended if you guys are feeling the same way with the full moon energy. It's so weird. I really don't know what else to say about it, but I might pull a card today for the collective, maybe a couple of cards. I've been today working on my birth stuff. So I am like in my 3rd trimester and have like hella heartburn. So literally if I burp, like excuse pregnancy symptoms. Also, so I will pull a card, but I wanted to share this exciting news. I'll probably post about this very shortly, but I got all of my certification, like certificates in the mail. So Life and Success Coach, NLP practitioner, time techniques practitioner, clinical hypnotherapist, which is fucking crazy. I'm like, what? I can do hypnosis on people? That's fucking wild. EFT practitioner, and then just the certificate of completion for Yes Supply. If you guys are interested in becoming a coach, highly recommend the Yes Supply method program because it is so comprehensive, and also you can use it straight away, basically. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you are tuning in, please let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm in Austin, in my room, just chilling. But yeah, I'm super excited about those certificates coming in the mail so I can frame them. I think I'm going to put like a gallery thing up on above my desk here in my room. But I was going to pull a card. I don't think I'm going to do that right this second, but in the next couple of minutes, I want whoever's tuning in to kind of think about like what questions you guys have for the deck, and I'll kind of just channel as much as I can for the card, for the card pulling. With the full moon energy, though, I'm just like, ugh. I have no freaking words. Also, if you hear any, or if you see me making a face, like looking up, my neighbors, I've shared this before on my Instagram, but my neighbors have literally been such a nuisance. I have a pretty high tolerance for annoyance. And it takes a lot to annoy me. And it's just been like, I think because of the full moon this week, I've just been so irritable. Like my emotions have just been like all over the place. So like this added layer of these people like stomping around and like yelling at their kids has been a good test to my patience, to say the least. And then on top of that, like this morning, my dog woke up like before 5:30. She was panting, having an anxiety attack, and I tried to calm her down, and then we got out of bed by like 5:45. I like went to use the restroom, came out, and she like shit the bed, shit the floor, like all of these things before 6 a.m. And so I like cleaned this morning before 6, did some laundry. Um, and then before 7 a.m., we went to take a walk around the lake. Hello, welcome. We took a walk around the lake before 7. I've been actually waking up super early this week, which is also very weird. I think it has to do with this full moon Gemini energy. I've been waking up hella early, catching the sunrise every day, and going to like a different place in Austin. I want to say that it's probably my method of nesting because this dude is definitely on his way. And it's just been a weird week. Every single morning has been strange. I have no words for any of it. I don't really know what's going on. But I'd love to know what you guys are feeling. Like, what is going on in your sphere? Because if I'm feeling this way, there's got to be other people feeling some sort of way. So I'm not sure, but if you guys are feeling this full moon energy still, let me know like what's coming up for you and your body and like how it's manifesting, because I'd love to share in the group if you're open to it. Drop it in the chat. I'm going to go grab my tarot and oracle deck cards so we can start with a card pull. Super anxious, very productive, and putting some energy out there, but definitely need to come back to self and ground. I'm like, yes, that's exactly how I've been feeling too. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, definitely been pumping out content, pumping out like connection calls with prospective clients. I actually in the last 2 weeks, I haven't really celebrated it or made an announcement, but I signed 2 paying clients in the last 2 weeks, which I'm super stoked about, into my Sacred and Divine Goddess program, which is all about coming back to self and channeling your past pain and patterns and trauma into goddess energy. And I have 2 amazing clients who I'm working with directly. I also am super excited to share that the Embrace the Journey of Being You course is available for all people. So it doesn't matter what gender you are. Sacred and Divine Goddesses is only for people who identify as women or have feminine energy, because that's just what I've been called to work with lately. Sorry, I'm like so spacey right now. I also am just like, this is such a tangent, but like I think there's hella moisture in the air in my apartment because like I've found so many items that have mold on them. I'm like, where the fuck? Like there's no fucking water anywhere. Like why? But apparently my apartment just is like super moist, which I don't know about you guys, but I fucking hate that word. But so like I found a backpack yesterday that had like mold all over it, and I was like, why does this backpack have mold? There's like literally nothing. It's like in a dry spot. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. We're pulling a card. I'm just on a tangent about what's going on with my energy and everybody's energy after the full moon, and I'm about to pull a couple cards, see where everyone's energies are at collectively. But yes, if you would like to work with me, I guess now is a good time to do a plug. I've got 2 ways that you can work with me. The first and the most cost-effective way is just purchasing the Embrace the Journey of Being You program, which you don't need to apply for or anything. Very affordable. It's $111. And it's got all of the foundational topics that I teach, which my framework is mindset, movement, and maintenance. It's like a daily spiritual practice of sadhana, which if you have been following on my Instagram, I posted my personal sadhana practice a couple days ago. It was it was an IGTV video, but it was, I was just sharing like what I've been doing pretty much for the last 10 years. So I wake up and I meditate and I do some sort of movement with like yoga, even if it's like 5 minutes. And then I'll usually go to the gym and lift weights. And then cool down with like inversions, and then I'll eat like a big breakfast right after. My breakfasts are usually oatmeal or like a couple fried eggs and rice right now anyway. And then that program, Sacred and Divine Goddesses, but I only have 2 more spots left, which I am pretty picky about who is able to join. The women that I'm working with right now are already on a spiritual path who are working on building their businesses. Because building your business and manifesting abundance is kind of a byproduct of the program, but there is 1 week where we go heavily into law of attraction and manifestation and all my techniques that I have used to manifest the life that I wanted to live. And for me, specifically, I like to live a life of luxury, but also just simplicity. Like I'm not super luxurious or like need to go do a bunch of stuff, but I do like to get my nails done. I do like to have hella time to myself so I can not be around people. And that's the life I've been living for the last year or so, where I just don't have like a regular 9-to-5 job. I work myself. I work with really awesome entrepreneurs. I'm constantly learning. I have a lot of freedom, which is a big thing for me. So that's really what we go deeply into in the program for Sacred and Divine Goddesses. If you'd like to figure out a little bit more about what it's about and also transform your pain into your dream life, or at least know what my 5 best tips are, there is a masterclass that you guys can take. It's totally free. It will sign you up for my email list, which I send out free coaching every Monday. And I want you guys to really, while I'm doing this, just start thinking about the question that you would like to ask the card deck, because I'm about to pull from the tarot, and then I'll pull from the tarot, and then I'll pull a card from the oracle deck as well, just to see what our guides to us, or if there are any messages that need to be heard. Okay, so I've pinned that masterclass to the top of the comments for both IG and YouTube. Okay, let's go ahead and channel some cards, shall we? Let me turn this down just slightly. Okay. Not sure what you guys have asked, but please let me be a clear channel for whatever messages need to be heard during this session. Oh, okay. Pull one more. Okay. All right. And we'll do one oracle card as well. So before I read all of these out to you, I will pull all the cards first, and then that way you guys can see what is happening here. Keep that question in mind. I can't really do anything. So hopefully you can still hear me. All right. So let's pull one card to be the message for what everybody needs to hear for this upcoming week. Oh, that looks like it wanted to come out. So we've got 3 cards here. We're asking the oracle for just one card to give us a message for whatever we need to hear for the rest of the week, because the full moon energy has been fucking crazy. So wild. Okay, got it. All right, so the cards that we got were the 8 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the World in reverse, and the message that we got is the new moon in Scorpio. So let's see what the 8 of Pentacles has to say for the week. So crafting your artistry takes passion, patience, and grit. So right now, action and commitment, focus, and dedication are your best friends. So that is the energy that Joe was saying, and that's the energy that I've been feeling as well. The more you apply yourself, the more rewarding it feels, seeing where you started and how far you've come. So that is really the big energy. That's the first card that came out. Second card that came out is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So beware, like your responsibilities are boring, and try to conserve your energy by looking for more passion and excitement in your life. Hello, welcome to the live. I'm just pulling the cards for the full moon energy. So yeah, this first card was saying like really focus on grit and action and dedicate yourself and commit yourself to your passions. Second card pretty much says the same thing. It just says beware of being apathetic to the responsibilities, like the normal responsibilities that you have, like paying your bills, paying rent. I mean, I know it's like the first of the month, so this is really where we're at. And so those two cards kind of came out together, actually. And then the World came out in reverse. So right now we're at so close to the finish line with our realization of our manifestations. And at the finish line, it's really easy to lose hope and feel discouraged about the manifestations not coming. And so I think that that's why these two cards came out together. It's like the more disciplined you can be and the more dedicated you can be to the journey instead of being attached to that outcome, the faster you will realize the manifestations that you want to receive. So don't give up. There might be a lack of closure or holding on to past relationships and memories. Notice where the World falls, which is in the last stretch. So that's all pretty accurate. All those cards kind of came out consecutively, and they definitely all make sense. So the goal is a new moon in rebirth. So think of your situation as the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's birth, death, birth. And that is what Scorpio energy is all about. Whatever you've been through, there's a new start ahead. It might be a little dark and uncertain, but it will be deep and transforming. Scorpio is a sign that likes to go deep into the mind, body, and spirit. So when this card comes up, there's nothing superficial about what's coming your way. So really tune in to what's going on in your body this week. So it was 8 of Pentacles, Knight, like K-N-I-G-H-T, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The last one was the World in reverse. And then the card that I pulled for the Oracle was the new moon in Scorpio, which is what I'm reading. So attuning to the moon. This is really where you should focus on connecting to your sensuality. Take lots of self-care. And also really connect to your sexual energy. Your sexual energy is also the center of your creative energy. So I think that really correlates with what we've been talking about the last couple of minutes with the full moon energy, having a lot of creation energy. So you can either be channeling that creation energy through the actions that you're taking for your passions, or I mean, maybe if you're taking a break and you need to rest and restore, like go have some sexy time with yourself, go do things that make you feel good and really focus on passion and pleasure right now. Additional meanings for this card are time to let go of a grudge you're holding. So maybe look into yourself and see where you can shed some light on where you have resentment built up towards people. If you're feeling any sort of jealousy or any sort of heavy energy around your connections to people, maybe like smudging and crystals and stuff. Stop being obsessive. I'm like, oh, that one was that one was directly for me. Make an investment. So whoever is kind of on the fence about maybe working with me, highly recommend working with me now because there's only 2 spots left for Sacred and Divine Goddesses. But that Embrace the Journey of Being You program is available for y'all to purchase at any time, and you have lifetime access to it. And the teaching here is Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth, magic and shamans. Its energy is a little bit dark, occult, and even scary sometimes. Not all of us like to face the shadow, but Scorpio demands it. In fact, it's through working through your dark side that you can get to the light, and the new moon in Scorpio suggests that you need to do that now. So I feel like, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like all of these energies have been pretty accurate, saying like, stay disciplined, stay determined, keep working on the things that bring you joy and pleasure, and beware of being apathetic to other things that still need your attention. because your manifestations are absolutely on the way. And you should also be a little bit more mindful about the emotions that come up, because full moons tend to bring up a lot. And especially with this card, the new moon in Scorpio, it's saying that a lot of our shadow aspects are coming up to be released. So if you don't take that seriously, like you're just going to keep repeating that pattern. And we don't want that to happen. Like the whole point of me doing these cards are so that you guys have a little bit more insight about what's going to happen so you don't repeat patterns. And as you know, I help people turn their painful pasts into their inner creative or goddess energies. So I highly recommend as a coach to make sure you are not repeating those patterns by noticing what comes up for you, like naming those feelings. For me, I have a tendency to attach to situations and outcomes pretty fast and get obsessive about them, particularly when I'm dating or something like that, or there's a new person in my life, which has definitely happened in the last week or so. And serendipitously, I started reading this book called Letting Go by David Hawkins, which is amazing. I actually bought both the book and the audiobook, which I highly recommend. He's a really great scientific and philosophical spiritual teacher who brings the spirituality aspect of everything into a regular layman's terms, so it's really easy to understand. He's also the creator. He talks a lot about the frequencies and the vibration of the different emotional states that you can live in. So if you're vibrating at a low frequency, you're usually living in like guilt, shame, fear, anger, resent. And then you start to move up to like courage, which is very, I don't know, you just have the ability to see that you're kind of in the lower vibration. And then I think it's like reasoning. And then you move up to like be answered. I do these completely for free so that you guys have access to me. You can ask me to, I don't know, whatever the fuck. I am so open. Like, literally, I really don't have any shame or guilt about sharing my stories in any way. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Hello, welcome. And if you're just now tuning in, let me know where you guys are from. I'd love to know. And connect with you on that standpoint. I'm personally in Austin. I'm 33 and a half weeks pregnant with my, I don't know if any of you guys have had kids, but it's interesting. I've been a nanny for as long as I can remember, and this is a trip. I've also done a lot of experimentation with like hallucinogenics, and this is the trippiest experience I've ever had. So hello, welcome. Yeah, it's been about 30 minutes. I would love for you guys to ask questions. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be here and like stare awkwardly at the camera. Just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, so this sticker just reminded me that the House of Representatives just passed the decriminalization of marijuana in the US. I don't know who sentences for just absurd amounts of their life. Awful. I think that this is a really big step in the Great Awakening that's happening, which is super woo. So if you just like heard that and well, what the fuck was I talking about? We're definitely going through a Great Awakening. It's time to wake up. Hello. Welcome to reality. You have been living in a dream this whole time. But yeah, I'm here. If you ask any questions, I don't really know what else to say. And movement, and I'm going to teach a couple techniques, some NLP techniques that I learned in my course. And that is actually going to be live in Austin on December 19th. If you guys would like a virtual option, I would love to offer that as well. And I can just record it for y'all. It would be cool if you guys could let me know if that's something that you're interested in. That way I can make sure to include that when I do the actual workshop, because it'll be live in person, and then I can have like a microphone and record it so that we're all kind of on the same page. But it's been a while since I've done a CBD yoga class. I haven't done one since February. The CBD, and I would teach people about the endocannabinoid system. I don't know what's going on. Sorry if my internet keeps going in and out. It says it on both my phone and my YouTube. So I apologize for the technical difficulties. Hopefully it works itself out. Yeah, it's been a weird week. I'm really working personally on letting go of attachment to outcome. Like, what the fuck? It's so hard. I say that because I don't want people to think that I'm over here talking about how I am also struggling as a human alongside all of you. I definitely have the same feelings and emotions that you guys have. I just think that I have become more friendly with mine, which is highly recommended. Again, if you guys will want help on that, I go through both. I go through that in both of my programs. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to say, y'all. If you guys have questions, like, why do you have to be so loud? I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I feel like if you guys have no questions and everyone's kind of like done engaging, I don't really know what to do on here. I don't really want to awkwardly sit on camera without direction. How you come in spiritual? Can you rephrase that? I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Like, how did I come to spirituality, or is that what you're asking? Because that is a lot easier to answer. And also, spirituality kind of found me. Hello, welcome, all the new people. Yeah, so I guess I can just go through my journey, that story of how becoming a spiritual coach came about. So a lot of situations that I've been through, I've had a very interesting life already, and I've only been alive in this body for 28 years. I grew up, I'm the first American born in my whole family. And with that, there's like a whole lot of conditioning being a first generation American. And I also came from a pretty broken family, at least my immediate family. Like my grandparents and my uncles and stuff were all very chill and relaxed, but my mom had a really rough time in relationships. So I was exposed to like multiple divorces. I was exposed to alcoholism. And so like a lot of spiritual teachers and spiritual people have lived similar lives in which they have experienced a lot of really shitty situations. But I personally don't like regret or resent or hold any anger about what I've been through, because it's the reason why I'm here. So all of those circumstances kind of happened before I even turned 18. And because my parents were functional alcoholics, they always had alcohol around. So I started drinking when I was 12, and by the time I was like, I was done with drinking. In 18, I trained to be a personal trainer, which is why I like lifting weights. And working with the body was like my first step into spirituality. And then eventually I got into yoga, went to India for my yoga teacher training in Rishikesh. And that was fun. And what else happened after that? I've had a couple of dark nights of the soul, ego deaths, like been homeless, done all the things. Lost my job, eventually picked up meditation, which changed my life. Yoga did when I coupled it with meditation. So I went, actually at the beginning of this year, went to Vipassana training, which was amazing. Changed my life, literally, because that's where I let go of my fear of child rearing and pregnancy. And then 2 months later, I got pregnant. So here we are. And pregnancy in itself has been a deeply, deeply transformational spiritual journey. And while I was pregnant, I did a couple of trainings. I did prenatal training, and also finished my life and success coach certification as well, which was great, where I learned NLP and EFT and time and hypnotherapy to work with the subconscious mind. Thoughts and thinking are the same. You are the person, like yourself, who you are, is the one who observes the thoughts happening. The self doesn't actually think. The self is a soul, and it just exists. That's basically what it is. And thoughts happen based on the conditioning that you've experienced, and also your subconscious programming that you have. And so that's why I got into subconscious reprogramming, because it really helps in pulling out the roots of the things that you've been through. So like for me, I just shared the traumas that I've been through. Subconscious programming has really helped me to pull out the weeds that have overgrown and allowed me a little bit more space to observe my thoughts in meditation and yoga, and my ability to connect to my body and the that's why I do what I do. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I know that the connection is super unstable, so I appreciate you guys being patient with what's going on here. If you guys would like a session, I don't advertise it, but I do offer just one-off sessions where we can go deep into whatever you are working on. And then I help you create a shift or make a shift in your life, depending on what you are working on. So I do those one-off sessions, but I don't like to really how to work on your subconscious programming and have a lot of issues that you've been dealing with, maybe self-sabotage, maybe you're feeling like you don't, or you're desperate for a change, but you have no idea where to go. This is definitely for you. I remember my first NLP session, we went through all of the emotions, and I released a lot. I had the difficult conversation of saying I did not feel loved or seen or valued when I was younger, and told them she didn't, you fucked me up. I've had to go to therapy for a long time, and I've done a lot of work around trying to heal the crap that I've been through. And both my parents received the information very well, luckily, and my relationships with both of my parents have completely transformed. I have amazing relationships with both my mom and my dad. and also my stepdad, who was the abusive alcoholic who was in my life. He and I have a great relationship. It's very much a part of my life and a part of my son's life, and has really changed a lot. So that's why I have such a tolerant and forgiving heart for people who do really shitty things. And that's why I believe that people are not their behaviors. The compassion that we have for others, and the better this world becomes, because we don't fucking judge each other so much about what we do. Even with my baby's dad, like, he has done some pretty hurtful things and said some hurtful things, but still love him, still hope that he comes around for his kid. And it's just life. Sometimes you just gotta allow the things to happen and pray for everything to work out in the best way possible, and it always does. I have a lot of faith and trust in the universe to bring me exactly what I need to grow and learn and be a better person. And I know that that's what it does for every other person in the world. So yeah, that is my spiel on spirituality and forgiveness and all the things. But if you guys want to catch more, understanding of the mind is controlling the mind. Yeah, so any sort of control really is, I would say, I mean, I guess it's just semantics. Like, the words don't really matter, but like, it doesn't even matter if you understand them. It's mind. That's it. It's so simple. Things usually work themselves out. They've always worked out for me, even though I've had like a very tumultuous life. Like, I feel great. My life is great. I have moments where I get emotional and I just kind of let the emotions be. But if you guys really liked this live Q&A, please join again. Make sure you share the information with anybody who needs to hear. If you'd like to join my free community, there is a group called Rediscover You on Facebook, which I like to share for everyone because there's also a bunch of yoga classes past. So there's like an archive library of yoga classes that me and then also a bunch of my other yoga friends have put together when the pandemic first started. So there's like a bunch of classes on there, a bunch of different styles. There's also meditations and stuff on there. And if you want to work with me, you can see all the ways you can work with me there. Selfdiscovery.school is my self-discovery school. Self-discovery. Make sure that you share any of this information with anybody who needs to hear it. And I hope you guys have a really awesome rest of your week. I have my baby shower tomorrow, which I'm super excited to celebrate. I will be announcing Baby G's name after the baby shower, so I've been kind of keeping that a secret from my social media for a while, but I'm excited to share all of those things, so stay tuned for all of that, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining. I love y'all.